Hey guys, it's me Matthew again, and today I'm going to be reading another one of the books that I have written down called The Morphling Civil Wars. And for those who don't know what a Morphling is, it's a human who's able to morph into another animal. Like, say, in this particular instance, he could be a human then morph into, let's say, a bear or an eagle, so on and so forth. And well, you basically are able to help, hunt, do whatever you need. Well, also, well, you'll listen here in a moment. But anyways, I hope you enjoy the story. The Morphling Civil Wars movie chapter. The day of the announcement, our village was attacked before I could make the announcement. Our defenses lasted almost an entire day, and we had a lot of injured, but on the 22nd hour, we were on our way to the GTDS city, but we blocked off the entrance/exit with rocks. When we made our first rest, I made my announcement. Everyone, I know this is sudden, especially with our village taken or destroyed, but I was going to make an announcement earlier, and here it is now. I found out recently that Sabrina and I are both part elemental masters that are living down here, which means that we will be learning how to use our elemental power as well. We get ready to have the fight of our lives, although we have to do our best to hit the elemental tribes to get along, or at least long enough to end this civil war amongst our own family of the old village. I don't know how we'll do it, but I know we will do it one way or another. Anyways, it's time to go on. We got to the city, but not without casualties. We lost almost 20 members of our clan. Only one was one of the new members. It was Habri. The pure young girl was so excited to live in our village. I feel very pissed, but right now is not the time for that. It's time to rest, then train for the fight yet to come. A year has passed since then, and I was training hard with my father in a room that was made to be fought in. We were jumping from wall to wall very fast with our elemental powers, but then I morphed into my animal form, and I got a burst of speed that allowed me to finally beat my father. He clapped his hands. Father, congratulations, you took me down, and looks like your animal form has changed. I morphed back into my human form. Please describe what I looked like. Father, you looks like your normal animal form, but with foggy frosty vapor around you. Oh, you looked a bit whiter than before, and you had vapor moving like fire around your eyes. You even had a bit of green within your white fur. Oh, your sabers were ice. Really? How interesting. Sabria opened the door. Sabria, are you two done training? As I need something to eat after that workout with my mother and council members. My father and I laughed. Father, yes, Sabria dear, we're done for the day and are ready to get something to eat. Sabria, okay then, let's go. She ran out the door. Let's go eat. Father, agreed. We walked out of the sparring room and headed out to get something to eat. We went to a place in a building we lived in for the moment called a cafeteria. I still don't understand these names, but I won't question, at least not too hard. The cafeteria was big, but did the trick for eating food. Sabria. So how was training today, Sabria? It was good. I even somehow applied my elemental powers to my animal form. Sabria. Same here, but I somehow beat all the council members, and I'm guessing you managed to beat your father? Yeah, I did, though I still need to do better, but be patient and calm about it, cause when I am angry, I hit harder, move faster, as well as more intent to kill if necessary. Sabria. Same. We continued eating until we were done. Once we were done eating, we went to the same training room where Sabria and I had to work together to defeat the council members, as well as my father and Sabria's mother. Sabria, you ready, my beloved landscape? I am, my beloved horizon. Gravity Council member. Okay then, 3, 2, 1, go! Sabria went to the left while I went to the right, jumping up fast to hit the walls, morphing into our animal forms. Sabria had a purple galaxy coat, and even her eyes were galaxy-like, but still had slit eyes. She was beautiful, but anyways, we continued to bounce off the walls unpredictably, leaving an elemental trail that had a few surprises. The Darkness Council member tried to follow us, but once he hit the trail from me, he practically dropped frozen solid in ice and earth. The Speed Council member was the next to try to follow us, but avoided the elemental trail Sabria and I were producing off of us until we started running on the walls, making it more difficult for them to even attempt to try to follow us because they all fall into that trap, which led to the Speed Council member to hit Sabria's elemental trail, causing him to drop from the lack of air, putting him to sleep. Not long after, we had the entire room pitch black and beautiful. Gravity and Time Council members were stuck in place, not knowing what to do, turning to any sound they heard. One moment led to another, and we both took out the last two council members, leaving Sabria's mother as well as my father to defeat. We knew that they were seconds behind us, but once Sabria and I were going to collide with each other, we pushed each other's paws back to the wall, heading down. Sabria's mother as well as my father knocked into each other, knocking themselves out. Sabria and I landed back on the floor of the training room, then morphed back into our human forms, causing the elemental trails to clear up. I spoke while people came in to take the council members and Sabria's mother as well as my father to the infirmary. Well, that was creative of us. Sabria giggled a little. Sabria. Yeah, that was funny. Also, I like your fur coat. And I yours. But now they'll send more elemental masters at us to train with, so we should be a bit more metaphorically on our toes for whatever they throw at us next. Sabria. I'm already ahead of you since I've been going to the make your own art part of the building. I laughed. You are ahead of me. I was thinking of going last night. Sabria giggled, then spoke flirtatiously. Sabria. Would you like to see my artwork? I spoke flirtatiously back. Well, of course. Sabria spoke, continuing to flirt. Sabria, well then, let's go see them. We giggled, then headed out. When we got to the art gallery, Sabria spoke while showing what she made. Sabria, here's my first one. I call it My Beloved Horizon. Well, that's uncanny and beautiful. Sabria, I knew you'd love it, but I got one more. Sabria showed me to the next one. Sabria, I call this one My Inner Nature. It looks like your eyes when you're in your animal form. Sabria, does it? And they're beautiful. We kissed for 15 seconds. When do you plan on making your next one? Sabria, tomorrow after training. Perfect. Now then, let's head out the infirmary to see how they are doing. Sabria, agreed. We headed out, then spoke to the nurse. Where is my father went? And Sabria's mother, Mrs. Aurora. Nurse, rooms W-O and G-O. Thank you, ma'am. Nurse, you're welcome, young sir. See you in a bit, my beloved Horizon. Sabria, and you, my beloved landscape. We giggled. We then split up. Sabria was headed to her mother's room while I was heading to my father's room. When I got there, I went in. So how are you doing, Father? Father, I'm good. Just a head bump to the head, that's all. Well, that's better than something serious. Father, agreed, but I gotta say, that was a clever move you two pulled. I'm guessing you two came up with that plan on the spot. I spoke sarcastically. No, we planned this before we got started training. I smiled halfway to laughing. Father, very funny, but I guess you two know what each other would come up with since you two are together. Yup. We laughed, then a nurse came in. Nurse, you are free to leave unless if you have something to add to keep you here. Father, no ma'am. Nurse, well then, guess I'll go to the next patient. She leaves the room. Need help getting up? Father, no, I've got it. He got up out of bed. Then we were going to see how Sabria's mother was doing, but they were heading our direction. I can assume you're okay, Mrs. Aurora? Aurora, I am indeed fine. Thank you for asking, young sir. Anytime. Sabria, well then, who's ready to take a nap? We all smirked and raised our hands, then headed to our rooms. When Sabria and I got to our room, we went inside. I then morphed into my animal form, jumped onto the bed, then waited for Sabria to hop in bed with me. Once she did, we fell asleep. I saw the world transform into a 15% blizzard hell and a 25% paradise that was always night with a full moon. Aurora spread about the sky, transforming into Sabria's galaxy-colored eye. Even though it was terrifying, it was also beautiful as I could see the harmony between Sabria and I in full manifestation, but it was just a dream. Sabria and I woke up. We asked at the same time. Sabria, did you see our harmony? We laughed. So we did have the same dream, though you bet it couldn't have been real. Sabria, no kidding, it was a beautiful sight. It was. We heard a voice. Unknown. You two can make it real if you serve me. Our hearts pulsed. Who are you? Unknown. I am not mortal, but immortal, since I am the only God that there is or will. Hence, I am the only God that there is or will be. I am Yahweh, the King of Kings, the King of Order, the King of everything. Sabria, did you send us our animal counterparts? Lord Yahweh, I did, and if you obey me, you can change the world together, but you'd have to sacrifice your lives in order to have world peace to those who worship me. What do we have to do? Lord Yahweh, tell your clan who I am, what I am, my title, and my commandments for this world you'll create, but only tell them before you create it on the battlefield. We will, our Lord Yahweh. Lord Yahweh, I'll make sure you do, otherwise I'll strike you both down where you stand. Sabria, what are your commandments you want us to tell them all? Lord Yahweh, I'll tell you in due time, but I'll be waiting for the war to come to tell you both. Sabria, understood. Lord Yahweh, good. Now talk to you then. Love you both. Bye. We love you too, Lord Yahweh. We smiled happily. We headed out to get dinner afterwards, then called it a night. The next morning, after we ate breakfast, we went to train at the training room. When we got there, we saw a group of warriors ready to train. We saw the Gravity Council member talking to them, and when he saw us, he spoke. Gravity Council member. Sabria and Sabor. Today we'll decide whether or not you're both ready to try to unite or at least get the other elemental tribes, including us, to work together long enough to change the tides of the Morphling clans. Okay then, let's see what your warriors are capable of. Gravity Council member. Okay then, I'll let you know when to start. I nodded, then we went in and got into position. Gravity Council member. Now remember you two, these are strong warriors that are the strongest, not to mention more experience among our army. So try something new that'll keep them from winning against you. Anyways, the match will begin. 3, 2, 1, go! The warriors came running at us, but we focused all our energy to change our surroundings to create a realistic illusion that shows our inner natures in harmony, but it still was cold. The warriors slowed down to a stop when they couldn't see us. One of the warriors. Where did they go? The next warrior. I don't know, but keep a lookout. I made the soles of their feet freeze and covered in solid ice, while Sabria was lowering the atmosphere down slowly, making it hard for them to breathe with the cold. one of the warriors. Is it just me, or is the air thinning? They started to breathe harder and harder while Sabria made the atmospheric air lessen. Sabria set the atmosphere in the room back to normal and we broke the illusion. Is that creative and new, Gravity Council member? The Gravity Council member tried to hide a laugh but did poorly. Gravity Council member, that was new and creative indeed, though I do believe you two are ready to try to unite the other elemental tribes. Okay then, when do we start? The Darkness Council member spoke behind us. Darkness Council member, how about we meet up with them for dinner at the neutral grounds of the old Elemental Council Pavilion? Gravity Council member, that sounds good to me. I'm guessing that this pavilion is where one of all of the Elemental Master Council members were united a long time ago? Darkness Council member, 1,000 years ago, but the foundation is still strong since it was made with every element that there was. Gravity Council member, it may be still standing, but the more the elemental tribes scatter away from each other, the more it begins to break down. Well, anyways, please let us know when we need to get going so that we can see the problems between you all and counteract those problems with a solution. Gravity Council member, we'll leave as soon as we are ready. Gravity Council member, where are you two off to? To do some art with Sabria at the gallery. Gravity Council member, well, you'll have fun. See you soon. We waved behind ourselves and headed to the gallery. 5 hours later, we were told it was time to leave to the dinner, so we started to head there. When we got there, we saw the council members ready to go. We're here and ready to go. Time council member. Okay then, let's get going. We got into the circle and the speed council member began to run around the circle while the time council member began to wind back time. The surroundings began to change and everything came back up from a year ago with some changes. We got transported to the pavilion, which told me that they had control over where we end up as well. So this is the pavilion. I can see what you meant by how it is crumbling the more the elemental tribes stay separated. The pavilion was made of every element in a way that showed those elements beauty and strength through the history of how they slowly separated themselves to tear this place apart. Sabria, look. Sabria pointed at the elemental head tribe members of the other elements coming this way. Okay, let's see how this will turn out. After we all ate, the Gravity Council members spoke. Gravity Council member. Okay then everyone, now that we're done eating, let's discuss why we called you all here. Head Fire Elemental Master. Yes, please. Let us know why. Gravity Council member. This is Sabria and Sabor, the chieftains of the Saber clan of the many Morphling clans from the surface. Sabor, please tell them what you want to say. Thank you, Gravity Council member. Anyways, we asked you all here to ask you all to cooperate for long enough to get the Morphling clans to become one like it once was a long time ago, with the possibility that you all come together as one unified tribe yourselves, like the ones before you had done so a long time ago that got them to create this pavilion in the first place. So tell me what you all think of this offer. Some of the head elemental masters laughed while the rest whispered to make a decision. Say, Bria, what's so funny about our offer? Head Fire Elemental Master. Oh, nothing. That's what makes you think we'll fight alongside them. If you don't like it, then maybe you should know that Sabria is the Gravity Council member's granddaughter, while I'm the son of Wind Clash. What do you say to that? Head Fire Elemental Master. You can't be serious. Well, does this not say that we aren't who we say we are? Sabria and I morphed into our elemental animal forms. Head Fire Elemental Master. Okay, fine. We'll fight alongside them. What about the rest of you? Head Form Elemental Master. I guess I don't have a choice, cause otherwise you two might bite my throat out one day. So yeah, I'm in. The rest agreed to work together. Some even are willing to combine with the other willing ones, all out of respect for my father and Sabria's mother. Week 1 of preparations. Every elemental master that was capable of fighting were training hard. Week 3 of preparations. We were telling the soldiers the order we're going in and told them to only kill the ones who tried to kill them, as well as to be the ones who attacked second. The day we go out to the surface, we were making sure everybody was ready before going out, and of course they were. Time to see what became of our village. We went up to the exit to find it was still blocked, so one of the stone elemental masters came over and opened the path up. We continued on, and when we got to the top, we saw the place was completely burnt to a crisp, but at least the barrier wasn't that bad. I don't think the other clans would do this. They know better than that. A lightning storm must have done this. Bria. So what now? You guys wait for our signal. So Bria and I are heading over to the old village to give them a surprise. Heads of each elemental tribe. Let's come with you while our soldiers stay here to wait for our signal. Sure, come on then. We headed to the old village to find it was also scorched. Okay, what's going on? Someone then spoke in the shadows. Unknown. After we gave up trying to infiltrate your village, a lightning storm came in and took out all but the Tai, Cayenne, Ursa, Avian, you, and Were clans. Though after the storm, we've been fighting ever since. Kaio? Kaio. Indeed. I'm also the chieftain of the Cayenne clan now. Also, who are your new friends, you two? I smiled. Fry, light his coat, please. Fry, with pleasure. Fry threw a fireball at Kaio's coat, causing him to say while thrashing his coat around trying to put out the fire. Kaio, what the hell? How did you? Fry laughed. Fry, I'm an elemental master of fire, you idiot. He continued to laugh when Kaio finally put out the fire from his coat. Kaio, that's it. He morphed into his animal form and howled, calling his clan over. We heard other howls, then we heard the growls of bears, the roars of tigers, the chirping of avians, and the howling of wolves. We saw at least 900 of them in total. We don't wish to fight. We wish to unite the clans into one, like it was a long time ago, as a family. But those who lashes out first in a life or death situation will die. So who wants that and who doesn't? The avians joined us, including the tigers and bears, leaving 500 left. Okay then, Echo, can you please have everyone listen to my voice at the cave? Echo, the head elemental master of sound. Echo, indeed. Before we begin this brawl, Sabrina and I discovered a being more powerful than us Morphlings or elemental masters combined. His name is Yahweh, and he is the King of Kings, the King of Order, the King of everything, and is the only God there ever was. We intend on worshiping him, so brothers and sisters, join us in this journey, or we'll have no choice but to kill those who try to kill us. Both the coyotes and the wolves stayed there. Well then, attack us if you dare. Chieftain of the Were-Clan, Sabor, I'm Werepelt, the chieftain of the Were-Clan, and I was wondering, why do you risk getting destroyed when you can attack first to prevent from getting destroyed? Why attack first when you can have those back you up to tell the truth that we attacked in self-defense? What are you going to do? Attack us or join us? Wolfpelt. Everyone, let's go. We're out of here. The Were-Clan left, leaving the Cayenne clan that makes 400 left. So what's it going to be, Kaio? Kaio. Everyone attack. None of them attacked. Kaio. Did you not hear me? I said attack. One of his own clan. There are too many, chieftain. There's no way we can fight them all and come out of it alive. Kaio was enraged. Kaio, what was that? I don't think I heard you right. Did you say you're scared to die? He morphed back into his animal form, but it looked different than the last time I saw his animal form. His animal form was indeed coyote, but it looked more Hadar. Fry. There wouldn't happen to have been any elemental masters of darkness and fire who had left as a couple out from the elemental grounds. Fry. There was 31 years ago. Dar. Yeah, it's been some time since then, but you don't actually think. Well, answer me this. Then how the hell is he able to have the hot-headedness of that fire elemental master and that raging dark side of that darkness elemental master? The entire Cayenne clan ran away from Kaio, being enraged, killing any of his own he could get. Kaio's coyote form was darker. The ends of his fur were on fire. There was even dark fire over his eyes. Sabria, let's finish this together. Sabria. Agreed. You all call the warriors while Sabria and I take care of Kai. Now, don't speak, do. You ready, my beloved horizon? Sabria. I am a beloved landscape. We kissed. Then let's end this madness. We held each other's hands, focused, then we called out. Hey Kaio, it's us you want, not them. So come and get us. Kaio howled out and ran towards us. We morphed into our animal forms and were running at Kaio. The more we focused on our powers, the faster and more powerful we got. Just as Kaio was going to pounce, we jumped, causing Kaio to flip onto to his back, and we came down fast in a blinding light that expanded throughout the planet. Once the light disappeared, the world transformed into a blizzard-covered world that covers 75% of the planet, while 25% of the planet is a endless night-covered paradise filled with forests, mountains, cliffs, ravines, ice spikes, and snow plains for those who worship Yahweh or Elohim. The moon shines with enough light to feed the plants to sustain them to keep them growing. There were auroras leading to one point of the globe that made the sky more beautiful. Even the nebula that was the shape of a saber-tooth tiger's eye was more purple, bright, and more beautiful than ever. In the endless blizzard was a judgment of hell that those who didn't worship Yahweh or Elohim were held. At the borders of paradise in the blizzard were mountains being struck by lightning bolts of enough volts to incinerate a person's body. For those who wonder what happened to Kaio, well, he is the blizzard that is endless. Sabria and I told the world the Lord Yahweh's commandments of the parallel world. After we made our declaration, my soul was placed throughout paradise, and Sabria's soul throughout the saber-toothed tiger nebula eye. Our natures are finally showing themselves fully and truly, showing our love for each other alongside our King of Kings, King of or King of everything, as well as our Soul Father. This was the Morphling Civil Wars. The end.